Welcome back, everybody. This is Cable Rose. Let's talk leadership. Again, we're continuing with our Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 1 concepts from those opening statements, Episode 13. Today's statement and today's ideal comes from greed and fear of loss are the roots that lead to the tree of evil. I'm going to say it again because I want to make sure I articulate correctly. Greed and fear of loss are the roots that lead to the tree of evil. So I got this picture behind me because I gotta do it backwards. We've got the light side and we have the dark side. We have the good, we have the bad. And I've said it before, this is my Star Wars tattoo, right? I've got the good and bad. I don't know if I'm good or bad. So this helps me stay on target. This idea that they're talking about in this episode is how things start to pull us one way or the other. And so if someone has, and we'll talk about Anakin, but Anakin has that, he has greed and he has a fear of loss. He doesn't want to lose his bride, right? He's got Padme Prego, and they're about to squeeze out some kids, and he wants to make sure he's around for that. But the problem is he's having these visions, and he's like, hey, what's going on? That's the big picture. But that fear of loss and that idea that he wasn't quite put on the Jedi Council and he wasn't part of the youngest one ever, but they didn't give him the master level. Well, his greed got to him, and you could see him kind of start to shift over towards this dark side. In real life, and when we talk about that, we have people in our organizations where their greed gets the better of them, and they start to do things for personal gain, for professional gain, but at the cost of everybody else. You'll see that quite often, unfortunately. And then that fear of loss. People don't want to lose. They don't want to walk in and say, hey, I messed up. I didn't hit my deadline, or hey, I couldn't finish this project. They don't want that. And so they start doing shady stuff to then say, hey, I'm kind of wanting to get out of that and move into that realm. The problem is that's when good, the good and the evil start to play into this. In this story, it's the whole purpose of the Star Wars background is the light versus the dark. This statement right here, it says Jedi Crash. It was one of the episodes, episode 13, but that greed and that fear of loss is what puts us into that side. So I got one more thing I want to reference. I pulled this up earlier. I want to make sure that I go back to this. If anybody knows about the Jedi Code, about what they believe, there is no emotion, there's peace. There's no ignorance, there's knowledge. There's no passion, but there is serenity. There's no chaos, there is harmony. There is no death, there is the Force. It's not bad. Jedi Code. This is not me making it up. This is Jedi Code. But if we listen to the dark side and we listen to how they think, peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through the passion, I gain strength. Through the strength, I gain power. Through power, I gain victory. And through victory, my chains are broken. The Force shall set me free. Oh, the Force shall free me. There's two different ideals of the same words almost of how they look at that and how they're actually using those. They're trying to find peace and harmony, whereas they're using it for gain and for strength and for the word victory. This is nothing new. In a previous life, after my retirement of my military years, I had a hard time adjusting to civilian world and civilian life because there was a lot of this going on. And I'd like to think that I fall one way, but I know that sometimes things are pushed and pulled. And again, that's why I kind of want to stay on target. That's what this is reminding me to do, that they're both out there. So when I look at those words and I look at how Star Wars puts these intentions in those statements, they're powerful. They lead us right down those paths, and they literally are how we function on a day-to-day. I always like talking about Star Wars. I always like having you guys here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us, and we will catch you guys on the flip-flop.